want to, there's a lot of people in this room who worked on this film, and I want to, if you worked on this film, can you stand up? I don't think we have time to thank everyone individually, but please.
Malcolm, let me get those headphones.
So I'll start things off with one or two questions and open up to the audience. Luke, how did you first discover these guys, or when did you first become aware of them and decide you wanted to try and make a film?
We made a short film before this about. Why don't you tell them how it met?
Oh. Okay, so a while back when Alec wasn't in the band, we did a short 3-minute film of the Avant-Garde Diaries, and that video happened to get great exposure for us. So therefore, we called them back to do a documentary with us, and we met again.
And
More or less, yeah.
yeah. How did having Luke and a film crew kind of following you guys around, how did that change your experience with this whole thing, going to Sony, getting the contract, etc.?
I mean, it didn't really change anything because we were pretty, honest in the documentary. I think that the documentary is an accurate portrayal of our everyday lives, and just because there were cameras there, that didn't mean that we changed the way we acted.
You can open up to the audience. Any questions?
You want to say something on that? Any questions?
Right there?
Yeah.
The relationship with Alan in the beginning was a little dicey. How's it now?
Alan is Alan. Oh, there he is. Oh, wow. Hello, Alan. Yeah, like I was saying, Alan is Alan. There's just nothing you can say about him. Yeah. He gets on my nerves sometimes, but he is what he is, right?
That's nice. Oh.
You get on my nerve all the time.
But y'all love her.
I'm going to LA tomorrow.
No, say something.
Any other
Nice.
question?
Do that.
Yeah.
Nice things.
Yes, I came home with the name on Locking the Truth. Say it again? How'd you come up with the name?
Well, we,
Take the mic.
okay. Okay. So, before our name was Tears of Blood, like, when we had our old singer or whatever, and then we need to change the band name or whatever, so we made a list of names and, like, I vote whatever, and Locking the Truth got the most votes, and the meaning behind it is that anybody can do whatever they want to do, and no matter what anybody says, and a lot of kids don't believe they can do certain things because of what other people tell them, but we're here to unlock the truth that they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
About that, we don't know. That's the best answer we can give you. Yeah, basically, that's it. Yes? Mhm. Right, yeah,
It's called pledgemusic.com.
Okay.
I saw you guys perform with Marilyn Manson, and I thought maybe it would be in the documentary. How was that for you?
Why wasn't it in the film?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, well, I wasn't in there, but then also for the guys, what was that experience like for you?
we finished filming this in October last year, so the things that happened beyond that aren't in the film. You guys have been touring a good bit since then, so I don't know who else you could have decided on. So how was that for you?
It was a very, good tour. We had a good 10 dates.
Sit down and be still.
Jared, we had a good 10 dates with him, and he's a very cool guy. He's different than you expect, but he's very cool.
Yeah.
Had you guys ever been to a big show before, like with a big audience, before you played in front of a big audience? And did that change the way you thought about your music when you got people react?
We went to shows before we started performing, and my first metal show was the Sea Disturbed, 2009. That was like 20,000 people, so it was a big crowd. And then that's where I realized I wanted to make music and perform when I got older. And it's cool to see that we're opening up for these bands and performing in front of crowds as big as that, because I didn't think that everything was gonna happen this fast. But it's cool to see us performing with a band we always looked up to in the shows we went to. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the movie? I'm sure like seeing it on the big screen with an audience here at the different festivals. What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are very good. Like Alex said earlier, they gave a good portrayal on us, and to see it on the big screen means a lot, because we finally noticed that we're going to get somewhere one day. It just takes time.
Right then?
Hey, you guys been writing? And if so, where's the music going? You guys can get into
We have been writing. We've been writing a lot. We have about 2 to 3 songs new, but we're not going to release them because we're going to wait for a nice, decent album to release it on. So basically, that's how it's going to be. But we just have new songs that Malcolm have written, and we've collaborated with him on. So that's really fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You all find that you can live normal lives in between the music and the paparazzi?
Honestly, it's not that. Like, when I first started the school year, I would, at lunchtime, people would ask big questions and stuff. But it calmed down. And it's pretty easy, to manage, a regular life, because, in school, whatever, because when I'm on tour, they give us, they have a tutor, and I have this computer, I have online lessons when I'm on tour. And then we go back to school, it's like a regular school day, so it's easy to manage.
Yeah?
What are some of your favorite groups?
The list goes on and on. I like Metallica, Slayer, Marilyn Manson, of course, Living Color, Oceans of White, Chelsea Grin, Black Veil Brides. I'm gonna give them a turn now.
Did you say Most Recently? Oh, okay. Well, that's one of my favorite bands too. Disturbed, of course. That was my first ever band. 3 Days Grace, Linkin Park, Stone Sour, yes, Slipknot, of course. A lot of bands. Memphis Mayfire is another one of them too.
It's like being alive.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
How did you make the song Monster
Alex, you made the song Monster, so how would you did you make the song?
I did not make the song Monster. Actually, I joined the band. I was the last person to join the band, and at the time, Malcolm and Jared were already working on the song Monster, and I just came in with the bass and added on to Monster. Actually, I did not write it. That's a question for Malcolm.
Yes, Malcolm. You know better than that.
I write the music out. I just start I start doing random things on guitar. And if I hear something I like, that's usually the main riff, and then I make a verse and then a chorus, and I write lyrics about what I'm feeling at the time. And that was about a relationship issue. So yeah.
Hey, that happens.
Okay.
Do people any time write negative things about you on the internet, and if so, what do you think about that?
Comes with the time.
Yes, people do write very negative things about us on the internet. They say that we're a gimmick and that we're fake and that we don't know what we're doing and our music sucks. But at the end of the day, we don't care because our haters are our motivators. So we take it and
That's right.
positive energy and we write very good music. So.
Yes, sir.
We were following you around and we're so proud of you. We first saw you at Afro Conference, which is amazing. I have a question about your training, and we see you practice a lot. And so can you just tell us about what ages you started and what your practicing is like to get better at your craft?
Individually, I've started playing drums since I was 2 years old, so that gives me 11 years. And Malcolm, you started playing when I was 7, gives you 7 years. And Alec, you started playing 3 years ago, so it gives you 11. So we're 6th grade. 11 years old. Yeah, so,
Answer the question.
Don't shh. No. Okay, so I've guitar lessons on Skype like mommy. I forgot when it was like every Tuesday, twice a week. What day? When? Okay, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like I said, I mean, whenever I go away or whatever, I don't get them. But yeah, at first I went to guitar lessons every weekend, and I know I just stopped and just like learned on my own. And then I just recently started taking lessons again.
I go to Brooklyn Guitar School in Park Slope, and I've been doing that for about a year now. But when I first joined the band, I had Malcolm and Jared teaching me at first, and then I just progressed that way. And
what's my history with teachings? I took a clinic class at St. Ash, but that didn't help. My mom signed me up for drum lessons, but that didn't help either. And so therefore, I just taught myself, basically. That was it. Yeah, I played in church, but that wasn't teaching either. Which is,
We have time for 2 more questions. Yeah.
What was some of the difficulties you ran into by following these guys around and trying to film them and everything like that?
I mean, the biggest difficulty was it wasn't clear what was going to happen the whole time. So the band didn't know what was going to be going on, a couple weeks out. And we had to follow that as best as possible and just be on our toes the whole time. I mean, that's part of documentary filmmaking at any point, or any kind. But this was more so than anything I've done before. It was just there were bigger turns, and there was more periods of time where you just didn't know. I mean, we stepped into it not knowing if they would be successful, and so that was a strong feeling like that was going to happen, but it was an unknown thing. That's why the film carries that sort of very, very present tense quality to it the whole time, is that while we were making it, we just didn't know what was going to happen.
One last question? Oh, right there, sorry.
How much time does it take to write one song?
How much time does it take to write one song?
Well, doesn't take that long actually. Like before, when we all would get together and write songs, it only took like an hour or so. Like at home, like since we don't practice together as much anymore, when I'm recording at home, it still takes the same amount of time. It doesn't take that long. Just write one like melody, and make another one, and then use the same melody. It's not that hard. It's just like
in addition to that, like what Malcolm was saying, it just progressively grows into like another part of the song, and it's just writing music. Writing music is a great positive thing to do, and that's about it.
Yeah, I would agree with Malcolm. But the only difference is for me and for Jared, I would think it varies in time because it's different when you write a song by yourself and then bring it to the band because then you have to master it. It takes a long time to get it flowing and working properly because Jared might have a hard time on the drums keeping up, or I might have a hard time keeping up on the bass, or Malcolm might not get his solo right. So we just have to keep practicing, and that's the part where it takes a lot of time. It's not writing the song, perfecting the song. And that's the thing.
That's right. That's right.
I do want to call out the people I can see who worked on the film. Is Tom Davis, the producer, Ethan Palmer, and Brad Turner, the editor, Matt Sutton, and Greg Mayu, somewhere in here, right there. It sounds, if I don't see you and I'm not thanking you, I mean to thank you. Thanks everyone, and thank you all, everyone who is in the film too. There's a lot of people here too on the outside. Thanks.
We want to thank everybody before we go, and have a safe trip home, and look for Unlocking the Truth in the future. We have much more things that's coming for you, and a lot of merchandise and everything else. Just please. We appreciate it. Thank you. Look for our book. It came out May 5th. Barnes & Nobles, wherever books are sold. Thank you.